Hello everyone, I hope you find yourself having a great day. Got another mini Cinema 4D tutorial for you, and this one has to do with creating 3D objects for your next project that sometimes can take quite a time to model, but for this instance I needed something down and dirty. Like if you look at this example here, we've got some SCP oil cans and a Prestone antifreeze bottle. I needed them in my scene. They were going to be in the background. And I didn't need to spend a lot of time modeling them out. So what I did is I put together a quick way for you guys and for myself to render objects that often have enough detail to require a justification for something other than a box with a texture on it, but not necessarily enough detail that's going to require you spending a lot of time modeling. So if we zoom in on these, you'll see that, like for example, this Prestone bottle, it's got some shape, does have some dimension to it, and so do these oil cans in my scene. They're actually 3D elements and were put together quite simply. So let's get started, show you how to do this. Make it a big time saver for you, and you'll probably have a definite need in the future in one of your projects for something like this. So I used my friend Google and searched for STP oil and was produced this page at Google Images, and I ended up using this little picture right here. And so we'll save that to our desktop. Don't necessarily need to save it. What we can do is copy that image, open it in Photoshop, and I've already got a copy here. Now what I'll do, let me close this so you can see it from the very beginning, is I do File, New, and I paste that image in there that I copied. I'll take my lasso tool and select the white area and hit delete on my keyboard. I'll do Control A to select the entire canvas. Then I'll take the nudge tool and just bump it with my up and down arrow. And you'll see now that it's selected the peripheral of this entire thing all around its perimeter with a nice tight selection. So at this point, under Window, make sure you have your Paths object or Object Manager window available. And over here under Paths, choose Make Work Path. I'm leaving everything at defaults, and you'll see it made a nice, I don't know whether you can see or not, it's difficult to see, but it traced that out with a nice vector pathway. So we can take and say File, Export, Path to Illustrator. And we'll just call this our path. Save it to our desktop. Okay. Now we're just going to save this file as a PNG. Save as PNG. Put that on our desktop. We'll call that can. Okay. And that PNG, if you save it as a PNG, you're going to retain that transparency on the outer area, this area right up here that surrounds that, so that you have a transparent area for the area that's not your can. Alright, so let's get back into Cinema 4D, and I'll close the scene down. And we'll start by merging that AI file, that path that we exported for Cinema 4D. So File, Merge, we'll go to our desktop, browse for that path file. Alright, we're going to leave it at, we're going to make it scale 1 so it'll come in nice and small. Okay, so there's our path, and you can see it much better here than you could in Photoshop. So how do we do this? Well, we're going to extrude it out. So to extrude, we need to make sure that we have a rectangle. So we need something to extrude this with. And we're going to scale that rectangle up so that it's larger, so that it encompasses the path that we intend to extrude. Okay, so there we have it. We can find that path of our can inside that rectangle. So at this point we need to drop in an extrude NURBS. And remember, with extrude NURBS, you want to place in the NURB the object that you intend to extrude first. So the path is what we want to extrude, and the rectangle is the method which we're going to extrude with, so put it beneath the path. If we turn around here, we see we already have some thickness. If we take and select that extrude NURB, we can bring this guy out to the approximate dimensions of how an oil can might appear. So that looks pretty good. Now next what we're going to do is we're going to create a texture. We're going to put that texture on, and we're going to apply an alpha channel. So let's double click down here and create a new texture. Select your color channel, And we're going to browse to our desktop where we save that file, that can PNG. Alright, we're going to also put a check beside alpha, and we're going to browse and we're going to select that same exact image that we used. I think it's called can. There we go. Okay, we're going to use its transparency information for the transparency that's going to be applied to our texture. So let's drag that on here, and you'll see that nothing happens. We need to change its projection style to flat. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit. Now, what do we need to do here is we need to scale this because it's repeating too much. We need to scale it up and scale it out so that it's approximately the dimensions of our path that we have here. So we can start stretching it out in its width, and we're just going to get close here because this is going to take some tweaking. We're going to stretch that guy up to where it's approximately the correct height. Now we're going to play with our offsets. We're going to move it down so it sees we need to go up a little bit. We're going to keep tweaking this until we're occupying all of that area of our path. And you see there's a little bit lacking at the top, so I need to stretch that up. And it's important that we're touching that boundary of that path, or else we'll have some anomalies that will cause some glitchiness as far as how our image is viewable. Okay, so we're getting close already. Need to move this. We're going to stretch, and it needs to come down a little bit in its width. So we're going to keep on tweaking that a little bit more down in its width. Move that guy over. And we might be getting close right here. A little bit more. Alright, so we're looking pretty good. You see that anomaly, if I zoom in on this, you see how we can see through parts of this? What that means is we're not wide enough. So we need to go up a little bit in width until all of our colors are filled in. And we can keep tweaking that by moving this. So we need to be a little wider still. And as we fill in all of our areas, see here's a little glitchiness happening here, right here. Just tells us we need to be a little bit wider until all that's filled in. And you can see that we're pretty good, except for this side. We're not touching the edge completely. See right there? We need to go a little bit wider. And we're touching it pretty good. We're touching it top, we're touching it bottom. So we just about have us a 3D object. If I render this guy, you'll see we've got us a nice STP oil can now. And it's not perfect, by far from perfect. You know, our lid is not, it's a square lid. Lids are round, but if you're looking at it from a acceptable angle, you know, it's passable as a oil can in your scene. And you can do this with a wide variety of things. And again, like I said, you can continue to play with that U length and get that just tweaked out, and the V length. Get it just about right. And once you finally tweaked it out, got it scaled just right, moved around, shifted around a little bit, I think you'll find yourself have a nice little easy, low down and dirty way to put you together a 3D object for your next project. So hope this helps someone. Remember, if you like this video, thumbs up please. And if you want to see more in the future, please subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.